Hi! The Grinch and I wanted to come back and do a three-part series around stress and the holidays because the first part went so well and I had a couple more ideas and I realized that it really is a stressful time period for everyone. So I'm back. I'm Joanne Newborn, your certified lifestyle and leadership coach. And in my first video where I talked about holiday stress, I'll just give you a quick recap. I talked about how it can be very stressful during the holidays when we are constantly playing the comparison game against other people, comparing our gifts, our cards, our wrapping paper, our food, just trying to sort of keep up with the Joneses. And it was really about judgment and starting to practice non-judgment, because when we start to practice non-judgment, we start to ease up on ourselves and we start to ease up around people around us. So living under the duress of having to be perfect all the time is incredibly stressful. So that was part one. And then I realized, you know what? I have two other things that I would like to talk about around holiday stress. So this is part two on holiday stress, and one other way where you can do something to alleviate that stress. So what I wanted to talk about in particular is that the holidays are a joyous time, and we feel a lot of pressure to feel joyous all the time, as if we're supposed to be feeling joyous because the whole world is supposed to be feeling joyous around this time. And what ends up happening is that there are a lot of people that feel very sad or depressed or lonely. And the holidays can actually be a very difficult time for some people, probably a lot of people. People feel that they miss a loved one that may have passed or is perhaps no longer in their life because of a breakup or a divorce. People also start to evaluate their year. How did their year go? Oh, I didn't achieve everything I wanted to. Again, could bring up some thoughts of feeling inadequate. And some of that joy of the season just gets completely sucked out, and you sort of get the wind knocked out of your sails. And suddenly you're sort of scrambling to force yourself to feel joyous because that's the way you're supposed to feel. And that kind of causes a bigger domino effect of probably feeling even worse and feeling a little bit more depressed and a little sadder, because now you're forcing yourself to feel a certain way, and you're actually pushing away the actual feelings that you're feeling, and they don't really go anywhere. They're still there. So now you've got tension going on inside of you and frustration, and you're just angry because you're not feeling joyous like you're supposed to. So I wanted to give you one way to be able to work with these feelings of inadequacy, depression, lack of joy, sadness, which are all very stressful. They're very stressful while everyone else is running around ice skating and shopping and eating sweet treats. And so again, it might be something a little unusual, but it is something that I talk about quite often, and it's gratitude. Now, I talk about gratitude every Sunday. In my private community, the Vortex, I do a post every Sunday, and it's something that I'm grateful for. I call it Gratitude Sunday. And I really love doing it just for me, even if no one else puts what they're grateful for. because it gives me time to sit down with myself and do an assessment on what I'm super duper grateful for this week. And I have been practicing the attitude of gratitude for some time. So I have a tremendous, field of things that I am grateful for. So for me, on Sundays, I get to really focus on one thing. But I want to tell you that when I first heard the concept of gratitude, it wasn't that easy for me. People talked about gratitude a lot, and people talked about having gratitude journals, and people were posting 100 days of gratitude on Facebook. And I would get into bed at night and I would say, oh, right, I forgot to do my gratitude stuff today. So I would just start to run through my mind, oh, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head and that I have a car and that I have my family and blah, blah, blah. I really didn't feel anything around it. And then when I got to the end of the list, I was like, but I still don't have these other things that I really, really want. So it wasn't really working for me. And then I still thought there was some value in it, but I wasn't really getting the value out of it. I just felt forced into this gratitude practice. But what I learned, the more and more I learned about gratitude, is that gratitude is really connected to the emotion that you're feeling around whatever it is that you're grateful for. And once you start to begin to connect that emotion to your gratitude, wow, it really fills your whole heart, just like the Grinch, up, and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And the more we practice this, and the more we realize how much there is to be grateful for, our heart and our bodies, they sort of grow and they kind of swell with gratitude. And the great thing about gratitude is that the more we are truly grateful, the more we receive of that and things that we want around that. And it's not a trick and it's not a game, and I'm not telling you to be grateful so that you can get more stuff. I'm telling you because that's actually the laws of the universe. And it is really amazing. And so if it helps you to start writing down things that you're grateful for, well, that's a great place to start, even if you're not feeling anything in particular. But there's so many things to be grateful for. And we can start with the things that we sort of overlook every day, like a roof over your head, or running water, or running hot water, or a working shower. Things that we might take for granted that other people don't have. But that's not really all gratitude is about either. There are lots of things to be grateful for, and there are lots of things that really fill me with so much joy when I think about how grateful I am for them. And they can be little things. So a friend of mine gave me this lovely bracelet last week, and I'm so grateful for her thoughtfulness. And I'm so grateful for this bracelet because it's actually part of a foundation, and that the proceeds go to this foundation. And the foundation is something representative of something that I really want to attain in my life. And so I'm grateful to her, and I'm grateful for the gesture and the thought and the love behind it when she gave it to me. And I'm also grateful for the bracelet, that I have this beautiful reminder every single day to follow my dreams. So there's so many levels of gratitude around one tiny gesture that I received. But you could just be grateful for your best friend, or a laugh that you shared with someone, or just how great that glass of wine tasted that you had, at the end of the day, or the fact that your TV works and you get to watch your hour of your favorite TV show. Or you could be grateful for bigger things like your kick butt superhero job that you have, or your children, or a beautiful home that you live in, or a rockin' car that you drive. And it's not only material things. I think the longer that I work with gratitude, the things that I become grateful for are things like higher knowledge and books and things that I've learned throughout the years that I didn't know before. But I'm grateful for all kinds of things. Some things are materialistic and some things aren't, and some things are just, the tiniest little things. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how to start this practice. And I really would encourage people to practice this daily. But if you don't practice it daily, that's okay too. You will see me constantly talking about the fact that we don't need to be perfect. If you remember once a week in the beginning, great. If you do it 2 times a week, great. If you do it 7 times a week, even better. I might not practice it every single day. I'll tell you a little secret. I might not. But I love the practice that I have on Sundays now, because I will always remember on Sundays to be grateful. But I usually have periods throughout the day where something will just occur to me and I'll be grateful for it. So it's not so much a practice anymore as it is a way of life. For example, I went to yoga this morning, and for the hour and 15 minutes we were in class, I just kept saying in my mind, I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that I have the kind of life where I can go to yoga on Sunday mornings. And I'm so grateful that my back healed, and that I can be here and that I can do this on a regular basis. So, my heart just filled with joy. Yeah, there's so many things to be grateful for. So I wanted to share that with you. And I will have a video number 3, because there is one more thing that I wanted to talk about that could help alleviate stress during the holidays. So you might want to start this during the holidays, but I certainly would encourage you to practice it all throughout the year. But hey, just give it a little start right now and see where it goes. And yeah, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, things that I'm talking about, like non-judgment and gratitude, are actually part of my 3 levels to success that I teach. And it's part of the 3rd level of success, which is creating a mindset of success. And so you might not think that these are typical things that people use in leadership when you're trying to get to the top of your career. But they actually mean more than you realize to your success. So I will be taking everyone through my 3 levels of success. But in the meantime, remember, try to practice non-judgment. Don't play in the comparison game as much as you can. Stay out of it. And just forgive yourself if you can't get everything done during the holidays. You don't have to be perfect. It's okay. Actually, not being perfect is sort of perfect. And try and practice gratitude, Look at a decorated tree and see how beautiful it is, and be grateful that you can see all the colors of all the lights and decorations on the tree. All right, well, I'll leave you with that. Have a wonderful day, and I'm wishing you love, light, and leadership. Bye-bye.